Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the League of Extraordinary Vapers. Tonight we are on a US flavour ban advocacy special. We have a special guest with us, Rabbit. Say hello, Rabbit.
Hey, guys.
And obviously you'll know all the regular panel. So we'll start with Rabbit first. Rabbit, what you're using to vape? What juice you vaping? Tell us about it.
Okay, so I'm a 41-year-old man. I'm on my cold steel mod with a dripper. I always rock a dripper. I like the flavor. And speaking of flavors, I'm using a butterscotch frosted flake by, it's called Turkish Maize by M Turk Juice.
Lovely jubbly. Christopher, go on and I'll get you out of the way now.
Yeah, I'm on my overpowered, which I love. And on that, I have my Dripax Purple Slush, which is a black grape slush flavour. My other mod is my Lassimo F4, as always. And that's with my blue slush from Dripax, which is a blue raspberry slush.
And how old are you, Chris?
Just 33.
33, and you like sweet flavours, right? Okay.
I love sweet flavours. I can't vape anything other than sweet flavours.
I know, like your nickname in some of our group chats is "Where's the sweetener at?" You know what I mean, or stuff like that, or like it's just I mean,
yep. What are you vaping tonight, buddy?
Tonight I'm on a mix. I've got the grip, flat line with half moon tip, Sub-Zero calls and everything. Pocket Rocket. I've got Stormbreaker with Dreadnought and my little pod, and I've got a bit of espresso, Chuck Clouds, Icing on the Flake North Shore, and a nice aniseed from Electrovape. So I'm having them tonight.
Lovely jubbly. And Andy, Mr. Sub-Zero, what we on?
I am tonight. I'm using my Grip Nade with the Elite V3. Obviously a half moon tip on everything as standard. In this, I've got some Apple Sun, which is like an apple muffin type flavour from Liquid Sky. Really, really nice. Absolutely love this. And I'm also on my DNA. I've got an RTA on there for a change, just for the sake of it. And I've got a tip. In that, I've got some Smoky Monkey, which is also a banana marshmallow custard flavour. 40.
I need to go grab more mods.
Go get them.
Yeah, and tonight I'm on my Unholy V2 RDA. I'm a plate doctor. It's been customised, looking pretty. And I'm on Fruit Sour, which is a sour apple lemonade. It's brilliant. Also, up here, got my Nick Salt, which is Raspberry Riot. I'm 37, and I'm all about these fruity flavours. I don't vape anything other than this.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't vape anything other than dessert flavours, really, that's it for me, pretty much. I've never really vaped any tobacco flavoured juice in my life. I mean, back when vaping first come about, I tried it and I was like, that's not for me, it tastes worse than a cigarette. So, that did not make me want to quit smoking. It wasn't until I found
honestly, I started over 6 years ago on those little Ego. Most people don't notice the tattoo, but that's what I started with.
Yeah.
And I've never ever vaped anything but, bakery flavors or custards. I've never used the tobacco ever.
Yeah, I mean, like one of the worst things about smoking for me, really, other than obviously the poor health issues and stuff like that, is the fact that it tastes like shit, man. I mean, like, you know, there's nothing really in the end. You just smoke it because you're addicted to the nicotine, and you put up with that nasty taste and that nasty smell around you all the time because you've just got to get that nicotine hit. So for me, being able to get my nicotine hit and take care of my sweet tooth at the same time, wow, do you know,
Damn straight, man.
Yeah, I'm winning on both sides. So
By being diabetic, it's the only way I can get my sweet treats.
well, yeah, you're diabetic, aren't you? So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, it's for you being able to vape sweet stuff really saves you some hassle with.
Yeah,
stuff.
with your sugars.
But then again,
Yeah.
you do eat giant custard creams about that big as well, Chris. So
Yeah.
that's not really.
Hey, when you see a custard cream and it's that big and about that thick, you've
Yeah.
got to have it.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
It's okay, I'll use an entire vial of insulin afterwards, but it was worth it.
Yeah. Right then. So, for the benefit of the viewers, tonight we thought the only way we can actually discuss stuff with proper facts, proper, you know, reaction from stateside is to have one of our family members, who is Nathan Cornelius. You want to introduce yourself, bud, and just let everybody
Yes.
a quick background into you?
Yes. Okay. So, quick story. I started vaping about 6 years ago. I actually a lot of people don't know this, but vaping was not just about quitting cigarettes for me. I'm a recovering addict. I was an addict for a long time. I found vaping about 60 months, about 60 days into my recovery. Vaping gave me, I fell in love instantly. Like I built my first coil. Like it was everything to me. And I decided to push with everything I had to get into this industry. And I found I could use my background in photography. I got to travel. I went to cloud comps. I got to go to events, and I made lots of family, even family out of my country, like you guys. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing. Like this industry has done so much for so many people. And right now in the United States, they are actually trying to do something that will crush this industry. And being that this industry is my heart and my love and my soul, by crushing that, you will destroy me. And this, I mean, this isn't like, dramatic, like, oh, this is real life. Like, this is serious. Like, I'm a father with 5 kids, from 17 all the way down to 3. The guys here got to meet the 3-year-old earlier. None of my kids vape. I own a vape shop in Knoxville, Tennessee, the Rabbit Hole Vaporium. None of my kids vape. They know better because I did my job as a parent, which is what we're supposed to do. And I educated my children on vaping is for adults. It is an alternative. It is our choice to pick something that is healthier. And believe it or not, you guys know more about it being healthier than anyone here because we actually got vaping from you guys. Like it blew up here because of the UK, because of Europe, because of the countries over there. We were over here killing ourselves. Like, let's just get into a little bit of a fact real quick. So in the United States alone, just our country, last year, 480,000 people died from smoking. Almost 500,000 people last year alone from smoking. And now our government's going to try to pass a bill that will say that, well, hey, you're not allowed to make a choice as a grown adult to pick a flavor. You're not allowed to. So a free country is telling me I'm not allowed to make a choice as an adult to choose a flavor. That's what's going on right now.
Ridiculous, man.
I'm trying not to get upset. This is
Show the passion. Show the passion.
It's hard for me. Like, this is hard for me. Like, I love every one of you guys. If you vape, you're my family. Like, that's how it's always been. And I don't want it to end. Like, this is so important to me. And I've done everything that I could physically do. Everyone that walked into my shop has gotten pamphlets that me and my wife printed. We made by hand. We are trying to educate the public because our media is posting propaganda. It's posting lies. It's trying to scare our people away from a healthier alternative and back on cigarettes. That's exactly what they're trying to do. And I implore any American that's watching this, please do not fall for the propaganda. Do not let them kill us off. This is our chance to make a stand and to do something positive.
And that's the thing right there. I mean, we've seen things this week, and as we all know, a lot of this started from the deaths related to the THC cartridges that, you know, has been spun and spun and spun to the amount of lies it has.
I mean,
that has now had a knock-on effect to, you know, as you've said, where you're taking people's rights away.
This is the sort of cartridge that we're talking about. People can buy these. Yes. I mean, I grabbed these off eBay to have a look at them and stuff. And, you know, anyone can buy these and they can fill them up with anything and say to you, hey, this is THC, this is CBD, this is ABC, whatever, you know, and you've got no way of knowing whether that is actually what's in there or you know, whether it's got arsenic in it or whatever. You've got no way of knowing. And people have got to understand is that this is not vaping as in what we do, which is vaping nicotine. Nobody died from vaping nicotine, right? And all of these people that are like that are classing it all as the same thing. I mean, you may as well say, you know, smoking crack's bad, so smoking anything's bad, so let's just ban all smoking. You know, it's just like a blanket kind of thing, and it makes absolutely no sense. And to me, it's just all seems to be about money, right? It's nothing about, it's like people, they don't give a damn about your health. They don't care whether you want to make a healthier lifestyle or not. What they want to do is they want to extract as much money in their pocket as they can in the easiest way that they can. And that way, is to stamp down vaping so that people keep on smoking, you know, and then let them tax dollars keep coming in. And, you know, it's your biggest export over in America. Is tobacco, you know?
I actually have some numbers here from the last 10 years of tobacco use in the United States. So this is 10 years just in our country. So in the past 10 years, out of 34.3 million smokers, 4.8 million dead. 4.8 million died from smoking-related diseases. In the last 10 years in the United States alone, 10.8 million vapers, 0 deaths from vaping nicotine products. The premium juice that we vape, 0 deaths. 0.
Facts. Like, you know what I mean? And that's a fact. I mean, I don't know how many times I've said this when people say, well, you know, we don't know enough about vaping and this, that, and the other. The information's out there. It just infuriates me. And it's like, okay, but even if there wasn't this information there, the information about smoking tobacco is there. So, you know, it's like, why is that not being stopped? Do you know what I'm saying? You know, it just seems like there's a big double standard. And, you know, in the UK, like was coming up on the screen there, public health, you know, England's advice remains the same. Vaping nicotine is 5%, 95% safer, you know? And I mean, like, I think that 5% is just because a lot of people don't like the 100% certain. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that and not to freak people out with it's 100%, because if they say that, you know, it's one of them things that they're talking in absolutes then. So I think that, you know, really, to me, it's 100% safer as long as you're buying it.
Does anybody actually know what that 5% is?
No, what is it?
It's basically because you are inhaling vapor. It's exactly the same as being in a sauna and a steam room. If you're in there too long and you're inhaling warm things, It's exactly the same thing as what your lungs experience when you're inhaling from a vape. That is the 5%.
Yeah.
That's why you're only supposed to
Interesting.
spend a short amount of time in a steam room in a sauna, because
Yeah.
too long and your lungs get too wet and too warm. That's the
You want to hear
5%.
something crazy? You want to hear something crazy about propaganda? So listen to this. Our government, the CDC, which is a federal division, posted a document that proved that the illicit black market THC cartridges that were killing people were cut with a vitamin E acetate. It's a type of oil that actually causes it will crystallize in your lung. Like, this is what's causing these illnesses. The amazing part is that they're quick to put a headline up that says vaping is killing people. 450,000 people are dying from e-cigs or are getting sick from e-cigs. But when the CDC posts about, hey guys, listen, it's not that kind of vaping. Do you think our media actually did any reports on that?
No.
Zero.
No.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
You know,
Well,
Gottlieb,
it's the other statistic as
FDA
well.
actually came out and said that these deaths weren't down to vaporizing nicotine, didn't he? He actually tweeted that.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I've seen it. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I think that this type of propaganda it's not targeting vapors, it's targeting non-vapors that vote. Do you know what I mean? It's targeting the non-vapors that vote. Yeah. While I like the alternative to cigarettes, vaping the alternative to cigarettes, we need to make sure this alternative is safe for all. Let's get counterfeits off the market and keep young children from vaping. Now, having said that, right, there comes to a certain point where people need to take responsibility for their own actions, and that comes into parenting. And if my kids go out and they do some dumb shit and I've let them do it because I've not been supervising them, and I can't blame anybody else other than myself because I'm an adult, yeah? And it's very easy for people to project blame onto other people when really it happened on their watch, regardless, you know? And so if people are letting their kids vape, then that's on them. Why should the rest why should the rest of the vapors be punished for that? You know, I mean, like, I've seen people saying about the high level nicotine salts that you guys have over there. I saw somebody mention something about that and saying that people are like, sub-ohming them and stuff so that they can get like some sort of like nicotine rush and stuff like that. But again, I think that that's just bullshit, sorry, I call it like I see it.
Hey, is it okay if I address one of the comments?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Tracy, you are absolutely correct. That is one of the biggest issues that we're dealing with over here, is that non-vapors, people that don't, actually know what's going on. They are seeing these headlines. They're seeing these newscasts. They're seeing their friends talking, at their jobs, and they're spreading it. They're spreading it because they're not educated on the matter. And I feel like, honestly, we as Americans, as American vapors, we have every right to be angry. Every right. We have every right to be upset. We have every right to want to lash out, and we have to be positive about this. We can't attack people. We can't say, I hate Trump and all this other stuff. You can feel that way. It's okay. But for the people that are non-vapors, for the people that are regular public, we have to educate them. This is the goal. We have to get out here. We have to change public opinion. Our government's using public opinion against us right now. They are using these blasphemy, this propaganda, these lies, these horrible headlines to scare the public away from vaping. My shop alone, just my small little shop in Knoxville, has seen a 17% decrease in sales in the past week. 17%. That's not like a little bit. Since we opened, every month our sales have grown in percentages. Every month. In the last week, 17% drop because of the news and because of this stuff. This isn't just destroying. This is destroying small business. You know, these there's over 100,000 shops in America alone. Like this is going to
destroy people's livelihoods.
And the worst part is, what is it like? I think on the low end, it's like 14 million vapors in America. That's on the low end. So you're telling me that you're going to take the right of 14 million Americans away, so they're not allowed to choose to vape a flavor. They're not allowed to choose. You're telling me as an adult American citizen that I don't have the right to choose a flavor and I have to go back to smoking.
Yeah. That's one of the points that I was going to make. This isn't just about a flavor ban. This is people's freedom of choice. This is, you know, people's livelihoods, people's jobs. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of employees and business owners put out of business overnight. You know, you're forcing people back to the only alternative that is going to kill them. Let's face it, because you know that's what smoking does. You know, this industry is putting bread and butter on people's tables, and you're going to risk all of that for what?
Yeah, for
just
nothing.
a load of crap that has been put out. You know, education is key right now, and that is, you know, let's not get into ranting parties, you know, throwing bricks at the White House windows. This isn't the way to do this. This has got to be a concise and strategic way of dealing with this. Sign the petitions, get the numbers on the petitions, spread the truth out there, use the right channels.
I mean, what I will say as well is that certain people in the vaping industry that are quite well known, reviewers and stuff like that have got an attitude of like, nobody cares about advocacy. Who cares? Going on about it. This, that, the other.
We do.
I mean, yeah, we care. We care about it. I mean, like that infuriates me so much. You know what I mean? You've got somebody there that is so influential within the vape industry, and they're talking that kind of shit. I mean, you know, that's just completely self-destructive, and it just makes you, you know, it just makes you think, really, do we need people like that around? Because, you know, that kind of thing's not good. I care about advocacy. We all care about advocacy. I know that everybody that I've really spoken to about this over here in the UK is appalled. Do you know what I'm saying? And we just really cannot believe that this has actually happened, you know, or even being said that it's going to happen. It's just, it was one of them things that, you know, has been going on for quite a while in the background, and, you know, like everybody tried to conform, and it's like everybody bent to the FDA's rules, and, you know, everybody did what they were supposed to do, but they're still doing it. And it seems like that no matter what anybody did, if they said, hey, do this and then it'll all be okay, you could, you know, so everybody's done that, but now it's still not okay, you know. And so I can understand a little bit of why some people are like, you know what, I've signed 300 petitions and it's still happening, but guess what, sign another 300. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't, how much time does it take to do it? Just do it, you know.
This is the crazy part. I want to address what Chupa said, and he's right. I mean, not everyone is advocating like they should.
No.
And I'm going to be honest. There's times where I don't, and it's not because I don't want to, because I can guarantee you, if you ask anyone in my circle, they will tell you that I fight constantly for this industry. I love this industry with everything I have.
I know that 100%, bro. You know,
it's like our advocacy goes up 100% when something bad like this happens. But when all reality is, we've been fighting for 4 years, 4+ years. Like, this has been a scare for over 4 years. Like, they've been pushing us. Like, so I think that, in my opinion, we have to stay positive, and we have to keep pushing as a united front, and not just Americans. Like the fact that you guys are willing to get involved, the fact that the UK is stepping up, the fact that we got people in Australia stepping up, we've got all these other countries that are stepping up, and they're in outrage. They're like, I can't believe this is going on in the US. Imagine how it would feel being here. Like this is terror for me. This is terror for my family, for my friends, for all the vapors in America, period. Like this is seriously scary. Like imagine you woke up tomorrow and you went to go to your shop and you walk in and you say, I need to grab a bottle of juice, and they say, well, we got tobacco.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's it. We got tobacco flavor. That's it. You can't make your slushies, your butterscotch, your candy. No, none of it. It's gone. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at, and it's sad.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, we kind of like when the TPD came in, you know, nobody really knew 100% what was going to happen until it happened. I mean, everybody was going out and buying juice because we were thinking that we were only going to get 10 ml bottles, so everyone was going out. I mean, I ended up chucking away the other day like a load of pre-TPD juice that I've still got.
I remember that.
And you know, I was literally hitting every shop owner up that I knew, saying, "Have you got any you know pre-TPD juice left?" And you know, like I was grabbing it off them, you know, like, because they were obviously stuck with it, and I wanted it. So it was one of them things. But when it came, before it came in, they were talking about the same thing over here, and they were talking about it only being menthol and tobacco flavor, and that was it. And you know, that's what they were talking about. And it wasn't right until the last minute that we found out that no, we could have these flavors, but they had to be done in this way, and they had to be tested. But then we found a loophole around that with the short fill, and we got, do you know what I mean? Everybody kind of pulled together and worked out a way of getting around it, and that's how come we have the short fills where we had the nicotine separate. But that's because of the language of the legislation, right? So this is what it all is based on, is the language of the legislation and finding a way of working around that. So until the legislation's actually done and you can read the language of it and understand what it is they're actually saying, you can't work out a way to get around it. And for the last 4 years, vaping has constantly been under attack, and it's like they've been priming everybody, you know, they've been priming the general public with this background sort of fear and confusion and, you know, and fake news that's been going on, and people are seeing it and they're saying vaping's killing people, the headline, and they're not reading the whole article. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's like I said about lots of things. If you use the Red Bible and like a regular like BBC News or something as your source of information and stuff, you know, then that's, you know, you got to educate yourself at the end of the day. You know, the information is out there. Go on the UK.gov website and check out the thing where it says clearing up the myths about vaping. That is our government saying, you know, that vaping is good. NHS, it's up to the individual trusts at the moment from the different areas. But like I know that in Wales, my NHS trust, my local one, we can vape on hospital grounds. You can't smoke cigarettes on hospital grounds, but we can vape on hospital grounds. Outdoors, yeah, but not. Okay, you can't smoke cigarettes anywhere on hospital grounds. Not in the car park, not anywhere. Our country is
but
really,
you can vape.
You know,
Yeah.
like anti-smoking cannot be advertised on TV. They cannot sponsor sports events. They cannot, you know what I mean? They're not allowed to advertise in the way that they did. And that is because for a long, long time, our country has been anti-smoking, and, you know, it's kind of seen as an antisocial thing, you know, and people are up in arms, you know, they're like, we don't want to be inhaling the secondhand smoke. It is actually illegal in the UK. Well, I know it is in Wales to smoke in a car with your children in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you're driving down the road,
It
and you're
should be.
smoking a cigarette, yeah, it should be. And at the time, I was kind of like, I hate this law. This law is stupid because what they're doing is they're telling me something that I already know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't smoke cigarettes in the car with my children. That's stupid. You know. So like,
Yes.
them saying that kind of at the
But
time,
how many of us grew up with our parents actually doing that when we were kids?
oh mate, I remember
I
going to
did.
the region with my granddad, and my eyes would be watering, right, from the smoke, you know, in the Legion Club. When I was a kid, we would go there for like pantomimes and shit on Boxing Day and everything. And I'd go literally you'd walk into the bar and it'd be like, you know, your eyes would be stinging from the smoking. So, you know,
people would charge more for a car where nobody had smoked in it.
Yeah.
Than compared to someone that did smoke in it, because you'd never get that smell or the stains out of it ever.
No, we used to go away as kids on a 4 or 5 hour journey in the car, and that old man, and he'd be there chonging on the fag all the way down. You know what I mean? He was a chimney smoker.
My nan died of lung cancer. You know, I mean, she smoked like 60 Rothmans a day. You know, and she died of lung cancer. I love my nan. You know, and I just you know, I've had quite a bit of that in my family with the cancer. You know, my mum, thankfully she beat it and everything. And you know, my uncle Danny with bowel cancer, he was a heavy smoker as well. You know, and there's quite a lot of it in my family. So for me, it's something that really is like quite personal to me, if you know what I'm saying. And you know, the way this now is going, my friends in America, like Rabbit, and all my other friends like Pat, and do you know what I mean? All these other people, everyone, like, what's going to happen? This is like money took out of their pocket as well. Like, let's not forget that these people rely on this money to pay their mortgages, to pay their bills, to put clothes on their kids' back, you know, and to have that taken away because fear of the unknown. That's basically what
I gotta say something to Mick. He nailed it. Like, that's another thing that's insane to me is that they're trying to use these different platforms to stand on. Yeah. So first it's well, diacetyl causes popcorn lung. Okay, well, we remove all that. Fine, that's fine. Even though people don't understand that diacetyl's in cigarettes, but whatever. We're not going to compare. When I was 12 years old, I got my first cigarette from my cousin. He was 18. I was 12. When I first smoked that cigarette and I got the head buzz, I was hooked.
Yep.
Like, I was hooked. It took that head buzz. Our government is telling us that flavors attract the kids, the teens. Listen to me. Not one study shows that's a fact. Not one. Every study that has been done, kids' response was the buzz. The head buzz they got off of hitting the vape. It had nothing to do with the flavor at all.
The high nicotine salts, you know, that's where I've heard it, you know.
We need to educate people. Joule is not vaping.
No.
Like, that's not vaping.
It's owned
That's
by
not
a company where their entire business prospect is let's kill our customers.
And I actually
to be honest, they're owned by a big tobacco company, and big tobacco companies know their product is killing their customers, yet they still sell it because it's making them stupid amounts of money.
I actually did some research on Joule today. I don't know if anyone knows this, but Philip Morris, which is one of the #1 manufacturers of cigarettes in the U.S., invested $13 million to own 35% of Joule. They own 35% of Joule. Like, that.
Yeah.
So if people think this isn't a ploy to get rid of real vaping, like the stuff that is actually 95% safer, and say 2 years down the road, they pop up and they go, okay, well, maybe we were wrong, but here's Joule. Here's a product for you. Like, they have a plan. Like, let's be real. Like, it has nothing to do with kids vaping, because guess what? Kids are drinking, kids are smoking, kids are getting high. They're going to find it. I did. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with flavored marketing to them. It has nothing to do with any of the stuff that's in them, because all of us know what we are vaping. I know what's in my vape juice. I know what's in it.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
This boils down to money.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when money just becomes the main focus of something, people tend to cut corners anyway. Do you know what I mean? When it's not an actual real passion, which vaping is.
Morals go out the window.
Owners. Yeah, I mean, I bred dogs for a long time, and I noticed that the dog breeders that just bred for money, they didn't do the health test. They weren't interested in, you know, whether the dogs had good temperaments or whatever. They just cared about how many pups they could get and how much they could sell it for. And, you know, they're the breeders that you want to avoid. It's one of the reasons I got out of dog breeding was because I was so sick to death of doing the right thing. And, you know, it just, nobody wanting to do the right thing, nobody else wanting to do the right thing as well. And you know, the thing is, though, is there's a difference there, and that was what we used to call backyard breeders. You know, they're just people that are just not interested. Their dogs are all out the back in kennels. They're not family dogs and stuff like that. My dogs all live in the house with me, and they sleep on with me and shit. You know, like you know, that's how I'm. You know, because it was a passion. It was a passion of mine. Like vaping is a passion of mine as well. So to me, it was very, very important. You know, and I've the same as you, Nate. I'm a recovering addict since 2002. You know, I completely turned my life around. You know what I mean? Like, and anybody who knows anyone, do you know what I'm saying? I'm an open book on that. And, you know, that's why when vaping came about and, you know, I really wanted to get into it, but it was just tobacco flavors that were around at first with like the Sky Sig kits and stuff like that. They were like, you know, just like tobacco flavors and stuff. And I really wanted to move over to vaping, but it just wasn't enticing enough to get me away. But then when I started seeing all these like blueberry flavors and, you know, like all of these custard flavors and stuff like that, that's when vaping really took over me, which is like 4 years ago, you know. Yeah, for me, it's a passion. You know, obviously I'm a coil breeder anyway. You know, same with you, like, you know, photography and every, you know, all of my other passions kind of fit into vaping as well, you know. And it's just something that for me, it's being killed off by people that it doesn't affect. Right? This is what is putting me off more than anything, is the people that are voting against it are not smokers, they're not vapors, you know, and they're not looking at it in a way of like, well, you know, like these people are trying to do something healthier here. You know, they're choosing to say no. We don't want to smoke anymore. We want a healthier lifestyle, and you're being told no.
Well, this is that going off what you're saying there. This is the other thing that I'd like to actually make clear to the establishment. We, as an industry and as vapers and everything else, we're not looking to fight against people. What we're saying is, yes, bring the testing, bring the regulation, because we all agree that's what needs to be done.
Regulated.
But rather than fight against us, let's work together.
Yeah.
You know, we all say we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do that. But
do it.
You know,
there's a lot of talk and not a lot of walk from a lot of people, you know, and it's one of those things where you get people screaming advocacy, and you know, really, they don't advocate nothing. They're just saying it because they you know what I mean. They want to join in with everybody else and like not be.
Well,
like,
that's it. The real message is we want to work with the establishment to get this done. You know, we know what needs to be done. Don't fight against it with us and just turn around and say, that's it. You know, a blanket ban is final. That's it. You know, there's no room for discussion.
None of us want kids vaping.
No.
Period. None of us.
No.
But we also don't want them drinking. We also don't want them smoking. We also don't want them getting high. Like, let's just be real. Like, kids are going to do what kids are going to do. You're fixing to put 14 million vapors and tell them they can't vape anymore.
Yeah.
No one in America is going to want to vape straight tobacco. It's not going to happen.
It's not.
And 14 million people working together with an establishment is going to get further and better results than just trying to completely shut something down.
And you're
going to cause it to go backwards. Like, it's going to go backwards, like back to freaking black market, back to when we were buying it in Walmart parking lot, or
come on,
y'all might not know about Walmart, at
Yeah.
Walmart parking lot, or like on
But-
the street, people making it at their house.
But that's the thing. That's exactly what it is. You're going to push it underground. You're going to bring it back to that black market. And I'm sorry, but isn't the black market responsible for what's happening now with
Yes.
recent events?
Yes.
And
And
they want
actually-
to push it further and further towards that.
Yes. Like it makes zero sense. People are probably sick of hearing me say insanity over and over again because I've said it a million times in the past week, but it's the only word I can find that describes what's happening right now in America. It's insanity. Like it is. It doesn't make any sense on any level at all. This is corruption at the highest level, and we're going to pay the cost. Our lives, us vapors in America, our lives, we're going to pay the cost with our lives because period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that thing by VF Rebel there?
He says, didn't they try testing and attacks a few years ago, and all the US-based companies felt above all of that and that it shouldn't be taxed? I mean, right, okay, so maybe some did. I don't think you could possibly say, look, all of the companies did.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing where people are talking in absolutes about stuff, it's either one or the other. There's no sort of in the middle. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's no moderate view of anything. It's like people have either got a hardline view against it or for it, and
that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the issue, and people, they're not prepared to go out and actually read up and find out the information for themselves. They wait to be force-fed it through their news feed on Facebook, or when they go onto YouTube and an ad comes up, you know what I mean, and things like that, and that's where they get their information from, and then they talk about it like it's fact, and they haven't actually gone and checked. It's just one of them things that I think the people need to do. They need to educate themselves. They really need to do that. And like we thought it was going to be the end of vaping in the UK when TPD came in, right? Everybody was up in arms. We were like, shit, this is really bad. But really, for us, now half the price on average. It's actually half the price on average of what it was before legislation came in. So, do you know what I mean? As the end user, as a vapor, it kind of made things a bit better in a way. And we also know that because it's regulated, that it's safe. But we've still got the problem of some places that are the same sort of shops, because we've got a lot of like convenience stores, corner shops and stuff like that are selling like the Joule.
I want to address something that Rep Smart said. So the comment, simple. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So the thing is, they have been like, that's the thing. So the problem is that they're focusing on things that have nothing to do with our particular industry. Like when it comes to, everything they've hit us with in the 4 years, we've combated it, everything. So now they're using illnesses that have nothing to do with nicotine vaping products at all. Zero, nothing. So that they're looking for a reason to come at us that has nothing to do with us, because it's in a small little tank. They're calling it vaping. That's not my vaping.
No.
That's not what got me off cigarettes and kept me off cigarettes. That has nothing to do with us. Black market, THC, illicit drugs have nothing to do with this industry, period.
Yeah. It's the confusion of the delivery system.
Exactly.
The way that these cartridges are being put through.
That's like saying let's ban all syringes because people are dying from overdose.
Let's ban for inhalers.
So this is a vape. This is a vape. This is a delivery system for my nicotine.
Yeah.
My brothers in the UK told me that it was 95% safer. They've done research, long-term studies. Like this isn't like they just went, hey, this works. Like they've actually studied it for years. So we know for a fact that this is 95% safer. Like we know that for a fact. So because somebody on the street decided to take something similar and put something that is killing people, then now all of a sudden all the delivery systems are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
And of which
So
one
because-
of those chemicals, one of those ingredients is not used in any vape product.
Exactly.
That's the
And
beauty.
I also want to say as well that, you know, I know that like in certain states, the THC cartridges are classed as a felony. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't right in saying that it's a felony offense. So these people then that are in hospital, when they're being asked about it, you know, like they say, no, I just vape nicotine stuff, you know, and, you know, they get around it by that. But what they're doing, right, in trying to save their own skin is putting a bad light on vaping, which has got nothing to do with what they did.
Yep.
They're just trying to avoid a felony
And the
drug.
problem with it, and Rep Smart just said it, then what about trying to petition it as a war on drugs problem instead of the view of it being about vaping? Because honestly, it has nothing to do with any of that. It is money.
Yeah.
They're using it as a platform to stand on. That is it. It has nothing to do with anything but money. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
This is just another platform to stand on. They said, okay, you're marketing to kids? Fine. We'll take all the freaking cartoons, all the stuff off, even though we as adults like that because that's from our generation. But we'll take it off because y'all said it's marketing, so that's fine. Okay, well, now it's killing people. Like, that's the problem, is it's about money. Everything that we have done to try to fix it, to regulate ourselves, they have found another reason to combat and come at us.
Yeah.
This is a fight that isn't going to go away.
Cartoon
Trying to
side.
ban cartoon porn.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
Do what now?
Everyone trying to ban cartoon porn or whatever the hell it's called. You know, this animation porn and stuff like that. And if animate, you know what I mean? If it's directed at kids, you know what I mean? It's a cartoon. Why is nobody up in arms about that? I mean, I haven't heard anybody screaming about that. So, you know what I mean? It seems like it's a bit of a double standard. But it's like you say, though, Rabbit, is that everybody conformed, everybody changed the labeling, everybody did what they had to do, and yet this is still happening. And if people can't see that, you know, we've jumped through every hoop that has been asked. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like everyone, you know, every single thing that's been asked, they've done, and they're still getting attacked like this. Come on, let's be real about this. This is an attack on our way of life. The way I see it is vaping is like a revolution. Do you know what I mean? It is an anti-smoking revolution, and it is a worldwide phenomenon, and we are all in this together. 100%.
This isn't just a way of life, though. This is your freedom of choice.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you just nailed it right there. So this boils down to one thing. And you just nailed it. This is simply our government taking away our freedom to choose a healthier alternative. That's the problem. It has nothing to do with vaping, has nothing to do with what they're talking about. This could be any other industry. It would not matter. The simple fact is they're taking away our freedom to choose a healthier alternative. I don't want to smoke cigarettes, but I'm addicted to nicotine because I've been smoking for 22 plus years.
Yeah.
I don't want to smoke. I hate it. I enjoy my bakery flavors. I like vaping, and vaping has saved my life. It makes it where I can play with my kids without falling over out of breath. It makes it where I can, you know, I mean, I am unbelievably more healthy now than I've ever been. And you're telling me that I don't have the right to choose a flavor. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I can't think of any other words to describe it other than fucking absurd. You know, this has got me so angry. This has got me so riled up this week. I've been like, you know, I've had loads of shit going on in my personal life anyway. So like, I haven't been online too much and that. But believe me, I am absolutely fuming about this. You know, because I'm just seeing. I've got images in my head of people panic buying juice and everything. I mean, tell us what's going on at the moment in your shop. You know, are you more busy than normal? Are people coming in trying to buy up stuff before they can't, and you know, acting like survivalist type? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, just in case. Have you got any of that going on?
Okay, so we have had a few customers come in that were scared and that were ready to spend money on 6 months supply. Like, this is true. So one of my regulars came in. She's a 50 something year old woman her mother is 75 years old. So she comes in and she says, I need to get 6 months worth of stuff because all this stuff going on. And I looked at her and I'm like, why? Now, if it was all about the money for me or for other shops like mine that actually fight for this industry, I would have took advantage of that.
Yeah,
I would have looked at her and I would have took advantage. Matter of fact, she might still be out in the shop because tonight's Saturday and we have game night. So I could go get her if anyone would like to hear the story. But her mother went to another shop and they used the headlines from the news to try to scare her into spending $600 of her retirement money on vape stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's the shit we're dealing with. Like, we need to, our only choice here, our only option to actually fix this is to push positive education.
Yeah.
We have to stay positive. We can't freak out and go, oh God, the sky is falling.
Yeah.
We have to stay positive. We have to educate people. Me and my wife have a stack of pamphlets that we printed out and stapled together to give people, every customer that's come in for the past week, we've given them one. We have to educate people on the truth about vaping.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right now we're dealing with people spreading lies about vaping. We need to educate people about the truth of vaping. And the truth of vaping is simple. It's 95% safer. We like flavors as adults. On average, most actually, I think it's like really high. I think it's like 98% or something. On average, adults vape flavors. They don't vape tobacco. Like, it's super high. And I just want to say one more thing real quick. So me and my wife keep track of all this. We have a very smart system in our shop that keeps track of everything. Like, we scan IDs, everything. So our average age of customer is 34 to 44 right now. 34 to 44. Like, it's not even 20-year-olds. But for some reason, they're using, oh God, it's an epidemic. Kids are vaping.
The number
well, guess what?
Smokers,
kids aren't vaping.
Like, the number of new smokers and new vapors, like, and stuff like that, it hasn't actually, like, it's not like if you compare the numbers, Ariel was saying a couple of weeks ago, that if you compare the numbers to, like, say 10 years ago of how many new people were smoking, and you even add them numbers of the vaping, it's still about the same number. So, it's like, it's not this epidemic of all the kids are vaping. That's not the case. I mean, kids, if they want to do it. I mean, I remember when I was younger, I used to go down to the corner shop on the way to school in my school uniform, at 12, 13 years old, and Sid, the Indian guy that worked in there, he used to sell single cigarettes. Do you know what I mean? I used to go in and bung him 20 pence. And I used to buy single cigarettes. That was my lunch money. I'd go and I'd buy a couple of cigarettes.
Yeah.
I'd smoke them on the way to school, and that was it. And that's how easy it was. It wasn't hard to get. But, like, in the UK now, if somebody looks under 25, the policy with anybody that sells any tobacco products or anything like that is, if you look under 25, then you get asked for ID. The legal age of smoking is 18 in the UK, but if you look under 25, you get asked for ID. And if you
we actually card everybody.
Yeah,
like everybody. Like, I'm not messing around. Like, they actually have, like, they've sent out stings around, like, all over. Like, they're trying to catch you.
They all the time, bro. That's like, this is why they do the 25 thing.
In my opinion, do it. Like, that's what we need. Like, if their shop's selling to kids, bust them. Get rid of them. Get them out of here.
If I came into your shop,
welcome in this community.
I'd be so glad. You know what I mean? You'd make my day, because I'm not a spring chicken, So, like, somebody ID'd me. They're doing the right thing and making me happy at the same time. So.
Go ahead.
The other thing I want to mention about age, right, is the difference between the UK and other countries and the USA. Over here, it's 18 to go into a vape shop. Over in America, it's 21. Now, anybody under 21, do they?
Yeah, different states, different
states.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
How many of those people?
In our state, it's 18.
It's 18 in your state. I didn't know that. But how many people in those states where it's 21 fall under underage. So you've got another conflict of numbers there.
Yeah.
That in one state it's legal.
Especially if they live quite close to a state border, where in another state it's legal for it.
That's
you know.
what I mean. In one state they're underage, in one state they're legal age. So how many of them numbers are being duplicated?
Yeah.
Exactly. And honestly, me and my wife talked about this. A lot of y'all know Kate. We talked about this. Listen, it's simple. Just do it across the board. Make everywhere 21. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make it to where you have to be an adult, or make everywhere 18. Whatever you decide on, make it the same everywhere. Like, let's fix that.
Yeah.
Like, that's super simple. I was actually sitting here while y'all were talking and looking at some numbers, and we talked about it earlier about the 10 years in the United States and the deaths and stuff like that. It baffles me because in 10 years we have had, I believe the growth was from 3.5 million to start the 10 years, and it grew 10.8 million vapors. Vapors, those are people that transferred from cigarettes to vaping as adults. Half that number died from cigarettes in the same time. So 4.8 million dead in 10 years. 4.8 million dead in 10 years from cigarettes. That's confirmed. Like, those are facts. So try to, like, I'm sorry, guys. I hate to break up. Like, I get so passionate about this, man. Like, this is our life. Like, this is our life.
This is what this show's about.
Everyone locally that knows me, and even the guys on here that know me, I care about people. Since I got my life together and I've focused on making my life better, everything I've done has been to help other people. It's all I do. Because I believe that by doing that, it makes me feel better about me. Because when I was in active addiction, which me and Bohane talked about, when I was in active addiction, I was not a good person. I've done time, I've paid my dues, and I've fixed my life. And everything I've done since then, especially in vaping, has been to help people. And every customer that's been in our shop knows how I am. If they do this, it doesn't. Okay. Whew.
That's reality right there.
Do you know what I mean?
That's the reality there.
If they do this, will I lose my business? Yes. Okay. Yes, that's a fact. Will I recover from that? Probably. I'm a fighter, so I will do what I have to do for my family. So that goes without saying. Will I be able to help people get off cigarettes and find a healthier alternative?
No.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
This is what's eating me inside. It's not the money. It's not the shop, which will suck. Don't get me wrong. Not having our shop here, not being able to help people, that will be horrible. But the fact that I can no longer help people find a healthier way of life. Like, I'm going to show you our T-shirts for our shop, and it's not about the logo. I want you to read what's on every one of our shirts because this is important to us.
Say it.
That is our mission statement. Your guide through a cleaner way of life. That is all we've ever wanted to do since we've opened the doors. And they're going to destroy that. And not just for me. There's over 100,000 vape shop employees and owners in the United States alone. Over 100,000 alone. If they do this, every one of them will lose their business or be out of work. Every one of them.
I mean,
nothing that they're saying has anything to do with what we do.
No,
nothing.
No.
And that's like,
I mean, what was it? 10 days ago, Rabbit, you shared a picture with us, didn't you? A crumpled up packet of cigarettes. You know, you got somebody to stop there, crumpled them up, threw them in the trash.
that's real advocacy right there. That is real advocacy.
You know what I mean? And if you weren't doing that, who's going to do it? You know? And
that's the problem. I don't know what I would do. I don't.
Who quit because of what you told him to do, and you helped him make that decision. Is he going to be looking at the news now going, have I made the right choice? Has he just gone straight down to the local store and picked up another pack?
Exactly.
So all the work you've done is wasted.
That's the problem. I sit here and my wife can tell you I've lost 12 pounds in a week, and it's not healthy. It's because I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping. I'm worried not only about my life and my family's life, but millions of people that are going to be without. Like this is real. Like this is happening. This isn't like it's not just a threat. Like they actually believe they have the authority to take away our right to choose. Like that baffles me.
And you know what? I mean, like,
it gives the land of the free a whole new meaning.
I was going to say was land of the free, you know, and I'm very pro-choice, you know, like that's me, that's the way I am. It's like, you know, if you want to smoke cigarettes, ultimately that's your choice. If I want to vape, that should be my choice, right? And I don't see why anybody, I don't care if they're in America, Ethiopia, or in Camden Town in London, you know what I mean? I don't care where they are in the world, right? If people are saying that they can't choose to vape instead of smoke, then man, I've given up, like, you know, anything like that I ever thought about humanity, because the way that this is, you know what I mean? The way this is going is just, it's sick. I mean, you know, I just cannot believe as well that, you know, it's become a big industry. You know, vaping has become a very big industry and it's created a lot of jobs. You know, as you say yourself, this is what, you know, you do for a living. It's one of these things that it's actually it's like an economy of its own. You know what I'm saying? And I can't believe they want to shut that down. I just can't believe.
And Bohane, listen, man, you as a recovering addict, you understand this.
Yeah.
So when I got clean, I was a different person. I changed my life. I became new. I became somebody different.
Yeah.
Finding vaping 60 days into my sobriety, 60 days in, I found vaping. So vaping's all I've ever known. Like, this is my soul. This is what I'm passionate about. So getting my life together and focusing to make myself a better person for me and my family brought me to vaping.
Yeah.
And vaping's all I've known for over 6 years. What am I supposed to do now? If they take that away, where do I go? Like, that's everything to me.
Move to the UK. I got room for you here. Do you know what I mean?
I already thought about it.
Yeah,
just to add with what Rabbit's saying there as well, right? Now, I know for a fact with Rabbit's shop, it's more than just a shop. You do your nights, late nights where you close the shop, but you have the family over, you have the community over and stuff like that. You know, it's more than just the way of life. You know, it's getting the communities together, it's getting people together. You know, it's everything.
And you're dead on. Like, we have people out there right now. I'm actually in the back of the shop right now, and we have a group of people out there right now worried. And we're trying to play games. We're trying to do things to keep people, you know, happy and show them, you know, things are going to get better. But I mean, what do I do when I'm worried? I'm also worried. So how do I, you know what I'm saying? And I want them to be happy, and I want them to enjoy their night, and I want us to keep vaping, and I want things to keep going. But what do we do when I'm not even sure if that's a possibility? You understand? Like, what do we do if I'm not even sure?
You know, and I go into, like, I call them local vape shops, but like nothing's local to me. Believe me, I live in the hills, and you know, but I go into local vape shops, and there's always a group of people in there, you know, just shooting the shit, just talking, and you know, just, and it's a real community vibe when you go in there, like, you know. And I've seen this in a lot of different vape shops, and like, because whenever I go somewhere, if I go to visit family somewhere, well, first thing I do is I go and check out all the local vape shops and go in there and see what's what. And you know, I go in there and see that they've got blue and Joule pods and stuff for sale. I start giving them shit about it, you know, because I can't abide that. But you know, it's like, it's one of these things where I see some vape shops and it's all about extracting as much money as they can from people, and then you get the vape shops and it's all about helping people get off smoking. Yeah, that's your shop right now, is it?
Yes, that's out in the lobby right now.
Nice. I mean, look, that goes to show the community spirit, and that's what they're trying to break here. They're trying to break us. They're going to try and divide and conquer, right? You know, and this is the thing, and it's fake news. Do you know what I mean? It's put out there, and it's just scaremongering to push an agenda that is about nothing else, right? It's not about saving your kids. It's not about any of that bullshit that they're talking. It's about them making money. That's what it boils down to. Let's not get things twisted. Do you know what I mean? Let's keep it real here. This is about tax dollars and about tobacco companies making money. And, you know, for me, I know that, like, a lot of people voted for Donald Trump and, you know, like vapors and stuff. And I don't want to get too much into that whole political thing about, you know, who's best at this and that and the other, because that's not what this is about. But, like, they voted for this guy, and now he's trying to take away, or he's being pressured into taking, you know, people's right to choose. I mean, you know, he was a bit ambiguous with how he actually said, you know, like on the live video, you know what I mean? He was a bit ambiguous about what he said. And then when the commissioner said about, you know, like the flavors, the dates and everything, people would have to put in, but you can still submit your flavors. And I kind of thought it was like sitting on a fence. Like, do you know what I mean? Like there was a bit of fence sitting going on there, and he's waiting to see which way the chips fall.
Yeah, but you got to think as well that just because he says that and it sounds like a U-turn on his thoughts and stuff like that, don't get complacent with it.
Oh, no.
Don't think, oh, you know, we can sit back now. He's having a change of mind. This fight's not just going to go away like that. Every day now, there's going to be a new challenge.
Like I mentioned before, I used to breed dogs. I mean, I don't know whether you guys know out in the States about, we've got the Dangerous Dogs Act here, where, you know, pit bull terriers and 3 other breeds are banned. And, you know, this, I worked actually trying to help repeal that law for quite a period of time with the Kennel Club and local breed clubs and everything like that. And it made it through the House of Lords twice, the bill to get rid of the Dangerous Dogs Act, because since Dangerous Dogs Act came in, there's more pit bull terriers in the country. So do you know what I'm saying? Prohibition of stuff, it just pushes it underground, you know, and it doesn't do...
It just says here, what happened in the United States is a 3-year-long failure of advocacy.
And see, okay, so the problem with that statement is that, okay, so granted, yes, a lot more people have spoke up and got involved since all this started back up. So yes, there has been more people involved, but to say there's a failure of advocacy is not entirely true.
No.
The problem is our government believes that the advocacy doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That's the problem. The problem is they believe that regardless of us fighting for what we believe in and what we know for a fact is 95% safer, that it doesn't matter because they're losing money. Like, I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, and let's be honest now, right? So, okay, so like we've got people now, like you know, Vic's quite a well-known reviewer in the UK and stuff, and he's even believing that advocacy failed. And this is what I'm saying, like, you know, we've got actual. Like, I love your dog, man. Yeah, if they tax the nicotine in vape juice, then they'd have the potential to make as much from e-juice as they do from cigarettes. Maybe, but then what about the big pharma companies that aren't making money off the illnesses? Let's be honest, that comes into it as well. And big pharma, they make the nicotine patches, the nicotine them thing. So at the end of the day, big pharma are against vaping as well. You know, so you know,
exactly.
you've got big pharma, and you know, these people, they're the people that contribute to the politicians' campaigns, and they've got lobbyists out there that are actively working to destroy our way of life, and it's got to stop. Okay.
So you nailed it right there. So the thing is that if you do just a slight bit of research, it might take you 5 minutes. You can actually pull up a list of the actual number, the top. God, I'm losing. I'm out of it. The top companies or businesses that donate to like government parties. Okay, lobbyists. There we go. Jesus. If you do a little research and you pull that up, the two that you just named are in the top 3.
Yeah.
Like Big Tobacco and Big Pharma are 2 of the top lobbyists. Like they are. So if you think that they don't have political people in their pocket or they can start playing them like a puppet, then you're wrong. Like you're not focusing on the facts. I mean, the fact of the matter is that regardless of what the U.S. does, the corrupt government is still has to make a decision on their own. Our only option is to keep educating the public on the truth. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all we can do is educate people on what the actual truth about vaping is.
Yeah, and the truth about vaping is nobody has died from vaping nicotine. Nobody has died from this type of vaping. Nobody has died. I mean, like, you know, more people have died from horse riding than they have from vaping. More people have died playing golf than they have from vaping. So I tell you what, let's ban golf. Let's ban horse riding. Do you know what I mean? Let's ban cars because people get run over. I mean, you know, it's one of these things that where does it stop? I mean, okay, we've got another comment there from Vic. Rabbit, it is a failure. The UK got the industry involved. In the US, the business is to do with vaping, bringing billions. One question, where are those businesses?
Okay, so there are a bunch of businesses involved, believe it or not. Like there are, like they're planning we're actually in the process of planning a march on the Capitol. Like in the U.S., if you look through history at all the big changes that we had, African American, women rights, the LBGT, all these different things that we had to fight for to get rights for. Every one of them was everyone stepping up as a whole, working united to fight the government. That's it. That's what happened. We are in the process of trying to bring everyone together. We know how, I mean, y'all know how it is. I guarantee you, if there, even though y'all did an amazing job and you got billions of people involved, I promise you there was still a couple billion that were, you know, not wanting to do anything. I promise you that. There were some sitting back on the couch going, it'll be fine. Someone else is advocating for me. Like, that's the problem. We need those people. We need every single voice, which is why every one of my customers that's come in this shop for over a week has been told about what's going on, has been asked to sign petitions, has been given pamphlets about education. We have to keep pushing education. That is the most important thing right now.
And here's the thing, right, is that what people have got to realize is that even if you don't vape, right, or you don't smoke, you know what I mean? So you don't want to give up. You know somebody that does, right? And you know somebody that you care about that does smoke, and you know they're taking away this. So you know this really affects everyone because everyone that smokes or one of their friends that smokes, and you know that you want to get them onto vaping. So really, this isn't just the vaping. You know what I mean? It doesn't just affect just, you know, vapors. It affects the people around them because I've personally seen the damage, the trauma that comes from these deaths. You know, my nan, you know, that was just horrible. I mean, you know, and like at the end of the day, I mean, like if that didn't happen, if she'd have been vaping, then that wouldn't have happened. You know, that's that. It's as simple as that.
I actually lost my mom just over 2 years ago while you know, working in this industry, and this industry rallied around me. Like it was amazing to see my family from overseas and my family around the U.S. rally. Like, we know you're going through pain. We want to be there for you. Like, this industry is not built on money. It's built on family. Like, the boom didn't happen in the U.S. until we incorporated a community. Once the community was incorporated, the industry grew. We have to get back to that. We have to get back to the community aspect.
Yeah, the infighting's got to stop as well, man. Like all this infighting, and it seems like everybody's so focused on wanting to chat shit about somebody else, and do you know what I mean? Like put down somebody else for doing something, and this and that and the other. And if they put that energy, right, all of that negative energy, they put that in a positive way and direct it in the right direction, then maybe things would start making a turn for the better. Because it's like I say, like, I mean, I made a post on Facebook the other day and I said, you know, I'd love, you know, I was going to say vaping's under attack, you know, listen, but it's been going on for 4 years. It's been under attack constantly. And I mean, like, this is like a non-stop attack, and it's just, you know, it's coming from all directions. And when you actually get into it and you look at a lot of these reports that are saying that vaping's bad and, you know, this, that, and the other, they come from companies, you know, that are funded by big pharma, charities that are funded by big pharma donations or FDA donations and stuff like that. And they're the ones that are putting out this bad info, and really so that their respective industries can still carry on coining in. You know, they can still carry on regardless of the risk of other people's health.
And Vic, I got a comment. Listen, I understand where you're going. Like, I get that. I understand what you're saying. But to me, the community is what brings us together. Like, that's what happens. Like, as a community, we rally for each other. So we needed that community. We need people fighting together as a unit. Like, that's what we need.
Yeah.
And all of us are trying. Like, if just because you don't see it on Facebook and Instagram all the time doesn't mean we're not fighting. Like, we're physically doing it too. Like, we're doing it in person. Like, we're out on the streets. Like, we're talking to people. Like, I no bullshit. My FedEx driver actually asked me about what she saw on the news, and I took 45 minutes to educate my FedEx driver while delivering a package. And then the very next day, my UPS driver. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Every single one of us has to educate every single person that we see about this. Period. We have to educate everybody. If you stop at a gas station and someone says something about vaping, let them know. Like, we have to.
Well, the other side of that is, in response to Vic, you've got to remember the differences between what we see as needing regulating and stuff, and over in America. Over in America, you've tried different things and each time come up against a brick wall because they've found something else. Ours wasn't like that. Ours has been pretty even from both sides. I think you'd agree, Vic, with the NHS side of things. They've been pretty open-minded with how things have been said and reports have been done. In America, it's a very biased, you know, because of the amount of money on the back end of it. There's that hidden agenda to put the block on things.
I don't think the agenda's hidden. I mean, let's be honest, like, the agenda's right out there in the open, but
well,
like,
yeah,
see the wood for the tree because of all the misinformation that's out there. You know,
yeah, the issue with America is the number one export is tobacco. Like, it is. Like, that's a fact. Like, these are things you can look up very easily. Like, you can Google them. Like, the number one export in the United States is tobacco. Number one. Like, that's it. So the issue has nothing to do with what the media is portraying, any of that. Like, this boils down to one simple fact, and vaping is causing big tobacco to lose money. Like, let's just be serious.
Yeah, I mean, this boils down to money. You know, you're nothing else. And yeah, okay, you know, maybe people could do a bit better. Maybe people could do more. That's exactly what we've been saying, is that everybody needs to come together. So, you know, as much as I agree with what Vic's saying, you know, it's kind of like, you know, that's exactly what we're saying. We're saying is that, you know, everybody needs to unite. You know what I'm saying? We need to unite and all go forward in the same direction, all sing from the same hymn sheet, right? And, you know, all promoting positive, you know, positive advocacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and that's not. Go on.
And when I'm just going to elaborate there, when we say all, this isn't just like, oh, it's happening in America. All Americans do this. This is all, as in, all vaping, all, you know, everybody that's out there that can make a difference can actually make a difference if we all stick together.
Okay.
Going back to what you were saying, Andy, the other day you had that argument with the fellow in the groups. Yeah, you know, who gives a shit if it's happening in America? What does it matter? Well, what that guy doesn't take into account is if this happens, if vaping collapses in the States, and he likes using a purge mod, for example. They're not going to produce them anymore. There goes his hobby. So it is going to affect him. Yeah. And this is the whole point. And like Zippy says, the whole collective of us needs to it. Doesn't matter if it's over in America, if it's over here in the UK, if it's in France. We support each other, because then stuff like that isn't just going to disappear.
Well, my question is, if it was happening over here, would we be screaming out and saying, "Oh, well, you know, we don't want anybody else's help. We'll deal with it in-house"? No, we wouldn't. We'd be wanting everybody on board for us.
And if it was,
so that works the same way.
This is the thing, right? If we go right, okay, so like the way it works is, you know, because we're a NATO country, you're a NATO country, so if you go to war, we go to war with you, and so do all the other countries. And this is the way that I see that as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, we stand together and we fight on all fronts. Do you know what I'm saying? We stand together, we fight on all fronts, and that's what we should be doing here. And this goes to non-vapors and non-smokers as well, because non-vapors and non-smokers, they are anti-smoking, and that is the thing that I can't get. I can't get my head around. These anti-smoking people are voting against something that's actually, you know, stopping the amount of people smoking. It's absolutely.
As Vic says, he goes, 5 years ago in the UK, the media was against us. NHS didn't want anything to do with us, and the Royal College stayed silent because the documents wasn't ready.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, okay, you know, I don't really know 100%, you know, what went on with the TPD and stuff like that, because although I was vaping, I wasn't really deeply involved in the vape scene like I am now. So, you know, I'm only going by what I know. So, you know, about what I've experienced myself. But all I know is that we're safe over here with vaping at the moment, right? But let's not forget that, you know, that can change in a heartbeat. I'm saying, like, that can change in a heartbeat. Don't get complacent for a minute, you know, like that, like this. Don't think, oh yeah, you know, we're good over here. TPD came in and that's that. Well, you know what? I've seen laws change overnight. I mean, I mentioned Dangerous Dogs Act earlier on. That didn't even go through Parliament. It just got pushed in and enforced on people with no vote. There was nothing democratic or anything about that. It was absolute garbage. And, you know, sorry, Vic, because then I think if the TPD was toned down on the political side by what became the New Nicotine Alliance, backed up by all the major companies, okay, you know, that's great. And this is something I actually will agree with you here, and that is that the infighting that goes on with different companies and stuff like that, if they, like I said before, if people actually, you know, united together and use that energy to fight this bullshit, then, you know, then maybe things would be. So yeah,
we need to not forget that even though this is an attack on vaping, this is honestly this boils down to the fact that we're going to lose our right to choose. Like, that's it. Like, as a free country and an adult American citizen, I won't have the right to choose a healthier. Like, that's what we got to keep, you know, in the light.
And once you start letting things like that happen, where does it stop? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, once you start allowing them to take away your right to choose, where does that stop? I'll tell you where it stops. It stops at being like living in a like a Nazi type state. Do you know what I'm saying? Where you're dictated to about what you do, and yeah, exactly. You know, I feel in a democracy. You know, and here's the thing, right? Is that I honestly think that there's so many people out there. I mean, the thing that boggles my mind so much is that there's people that know that vaping, they know that vaping is safer, they know that it's better, but still believe in this propaganda because they don't want to see it put out there.
Well, the other way of looking at it is we've gone to war with people and countries over taking people's rights away.
Yeah.
What's the difference here?
Exactly. You know, we're all against dictatorships and stuff like that, but that's what I'm seeing. You know,
that's what's unfolding right now.
Yeah. You know?
And Vic, that's exactly what we're doing. As a smaller business owner, we're working with other small business owners, trying to get the word out and battle the media. We have a large company. We have large advocacy groups that are battling the government. I mean, if you want to stay up to date on the stuff going on in the U.S., the American Vaping Association is a really good source that keeps track of everything day to day and what's going on. So you should definitely, give them a follow, and they keep us up to date. But this, like we said a million times in this podcast, it boils down to one thing. We're all gonna lose. Like, if this happens, every one of us in the U.S. that vape will lose. Like, just flat out. We won't be allowed to vape flavors. Our businesses will go under. Over 100,000 people will be out of work. Like, this is a real tragedy. Like, we need people to know the truth. People have to know the truth. They have to see what's going on.
Rep Smart just saying, but you have not lost the right to choose yet. It hasn't happened, and the fight is still anyone's. If the community and the industry rally together, then there is a chance. And that's the point of this and what people have been doing for the last week.
Do you know what I'm saying? The clock's running now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It started, and this is.
Am I right in thinking there's an actual timeline been set for this?
Well, believe it or not, some people have already lost. Like, as of I think yesterday, the day before, Utah lost all rights. Like, they're killing vaping completely in that state. In San Francisco, they have completely killed vaping. Michigan, they lost flavors. New York has lost flavors. So it's already happening for some people. Like, that's the problem. Is like it's a snowball effect.
San Francisco,
we woke up. What?
Is that why San Francisco was the first to flavor ban? Was that like a year, 2 years ago?
Yes. San Francisco was the first.
Yeah. So
we woke up Monday morning with the Michigan thing. So that, we get a slap Monday. Then Tuesday, happens, and Donald Trump, goes on big exclusive all over media about how he's pushing the FDA. And then we have New York and New Jersey step up that want to shut things down. And then Utah, Wednesday or Thursday, hops in, and then they, outlaw all vaping. Like, it's a snowball effect. Like, we have as a unity, like, together as vapors, like, united all over the world, not just here, all over the world, UK, Australia, every continent. Like, we have to step up as a family, as a group, as a whole, and say, listen, USA, this isn't good. This is not okay. We know it's safer. We have to rally, man. We have to rally the troops. Like, we are in a war for our lives, and that's not figurative. Like, this is literal. If people go back to smoking, they will die. Like, it's just what happens. We have an opportunity and an obligation here to fight for these people. Like, we have to.
Definitely.
Yeah, I honestly, I agree with you 100% on that. And like, I've been saying this for a while now, is that everybody needs to come together and go on this as a united front. You know what I'm saying? And need to put petty squabbles to one side, and just everybody needs to fight in the same direction. I mean, we can keep talking about it and procrastinate it, but at the end of the day, people need to do it. They just need to. There's no thinking about it. This isn't even a question. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like one of these things that, like, people are like, oh, I've already signed 300 petitions. Like I said, we'll sign another 100 then. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I mean,
in relation to what Nicer Guys has just says, with the American comment, the Americans have been fighting this now for the last couple of years, to my understanding.
Yes.
And not being funny, every time that they've met and finally got somewhere, the goalposts have changed, and there's another loophole being used and another loophole. This isn't just happening now. This is you know, this has been going on for a couple of years now.
Like imagine playing football. You know how hard it is to score a touchdown when they keep stretching the field?
Yeah.
Like this is hard. Like every time we get a first down, they add another 100 yards.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like, by the time we move it again.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the thing, it's like I said, you know, like there's people talk about advocacy, but there's also compliance as well. And, you know, like everybody's complying with everything that they say, and then they still come up with some next bullshit thing. And the latest thing is, like you said, it is these illicit black market cartridges that people, and by the way, this is empty, by the way, you know, like that's not, it's not because I've got one here because I'm using my, this is just something that I bought because I wanted to see what was actually going on, you know, and how easy they are to get. Just go and buy, I could just fill these up, right, with vegetable oil from a bottle in my kitchen cupboard and sell them on the street to people. Nobody would know any different until, you know, and that's it. And it could be, I could put engine oil in this. What I'm saying, absolutely anything. I mean, we've heard about alloy wheel cleaner. We've heard stuff about like the vitamin E acetate. We've, you know, and I mean, this has still got nothing to do with vaping. Nothing to do with it. And people need to separate these two things, and they're two separate issues, right? One is that people are not going to want to admit that they are using a substance that is going to get them a felony drug charge, and not going to want to admit that, so they're going to try and blame it on whatever they can to get out of that situation. And unfortunately, in doing that, what they've done is they've actually given a loaded gun, you know, to the government to turn it around and go boom, right, and hit us with a headshot. And you know, we're all scrabbling around like trying to work out what's going on, but really, you know, it's pretty obvious what's going on. People trying to take away your right to choose. You know, again, if it's money, let's drive in this. Can you bring that up again, Vin? Yeah, Rep Smart.
So, I just want to say something real quick. I want to say thank you to all you guys on the League of Extraordinary Vapers. I appreciate you having me on. I love all you guys. You know that if I could do anything for any vapor, regardless of where they live, that means nothing to me. We're all under the same shroud. We're all family. I'm here for you. And truly, if you care about vaping at all, if you care about a human being's right to choose, please, anything you can do to help, anything, even if it's posting, if educating the public, getting on your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook, whatever you have, and let people know the truth. And this is gonna destroy families. Like this isn't a game. Like they're gonna destroy families with this. Like this is serious.
I mean, this is like a multi-pronged attack as well, because we've just had this big issue with Facebook and Instagram and stuff with, you know, not allowed to be promoting vape stuff in a certain way. And it's very, 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 I mean, I don't believe in coincidences. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's very convenient that all these things are sort of happening at the same time. You know, not convenient for us, but convenient for what I call the opposite of vaping. Yeah. And for me, you know, that says it all. But what people have got to do is they've got to stop believing every single thing, right? You know, you've got to, if you want to go and think about something, you want to vote on something, then it's your duty, right, as a human being to find out, make sure that you are factually correct, you know, and by doing your research, coming out with real facts, you know, that are actually out there. Like I've said before, the .gov website in the UK. We're going to put some links and stuff in the description and everything for this stream, so that people will actually be able to go and check them out and everything. And the information is out there. The information has been out there for a while, but it's just whether or not people want to actually read it and read it, because this is something that can save millions, billions of people in the future. You know, talking about our children's children, and you know, and it's one of these things that I don't take that lightly. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't take like people trying to mess with my family and you know like and my friends and all. I don't take this lightly at all. And the way I see it, if you're under attack, I'm under attack because we're all in the same boat here. We're all coming from the same sort of backgrounds, the same direction, and we all just want to not smoke. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not hard to understand, you know? And by them taking away the choice, right, is making people, I mean, who's going to be enticed away from smoking cigarettes by tobacco flavored vape tubes? I mean, come on. Like, it's not going to happen. I mean, like, taking on this apple mushroom flavor, and this is fire. This is so good. I mean, like, if you compare this to like a tobacco flavor, it's like chalk and cheese. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like we're all here and we're all vaping sweet flavors. And let's be honest, no spring chickens here. Come on, guys. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I'm just, you know, I'm just coming up to 40 years old.
Adults love flavors.
Exactly, man. It's nostalgia.
Yeah, it is, and it's not that. I like apple muffins. I like apple muffins anyway. Like, to me, it's
Listen, guys. I think that for tonight, I think we've sort of got the point across, and I think we need to sort of possibly think about wrapping this one up, seeing how things progress in the week, and perhaps look again and get together again next week with another show.
Yeah.
What do we think?
If you need me back for an update, you let me know. I'm always
dude. You're always welcome, man. You know that.
Yeah, you're always welcome. Definitely.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that. This is a two-way street here. You know what I mean? And I can't speak for everyone in the UK, but I can certainly speak for my friends, my family, and that's that we're all here and we're backing you 100%. Do you know what I'm saying? And anything that we can do, we will do. And that's and that's not no hollow promise. Like that's from the bottom of my heart, because this means so much to me, and you guys over there mean so much to me, because you know, just being a part of the community with you guys has helped me so much with my own personal struggles and you know, stuff like that in my private life. That, you know, if all this went away, I mean, man, I don't know, the same as you, Rabbit, man, I don't know where that would be, you, bro. I mean, Paul knows, like, that I've been, you guys have dragged me out of some deep, dark holes, do you know what I'm saying? And this is the thing, friends that I've met through vaping, well, I mean, you know, they're real friends, and that's for real, and I love all of you guys. And family, 100% family. I mean, like, you know, your wife Kate, like in that half minute, she's mama to us, like, you know,
Mama Bear, man.
Yeah, she is. She you know.
And y'all know how we both are. Like, we love this industry with everything we have. Like, we do more than anything. And we're going to keep fighting. We're not stopping over here. No one's giving up. This is more of an outcry to let people know what's happening and ask for help. Plain and simple.
This is a call to arms. This is a call to arms. We got to unite here. We're under attack, right? This is nothing new. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're under attack, and we got to unite, and we got to come together, and we got to fight this in a logical way, right? And the only logical way to fight this is to combat with positive and actual real facts, not bullshit propaganda, right? Don't even give that shit airtime. Do you know what I'm saying? And any vapor, right, that's going around on Facebook sharing this fucking bullshit, right, should be ashamed of themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? The sharing this propaganda and into vape groups and stuff, it's like, you know, go away with that. It won't get approved in any group that I'm on. And
hey,
that.
Real quick, because my computer's at 1% and I don't want it to cut off. I just want to tell everybody that viewed this tonight, I love you guys. I thank all of you. I appreciate everyone in the league for letting us come on and talk about this. And we're here. And if anyone has any questions or any or just wants to help, reach out. Like Zippy, Andy, they can all get a hold of me.
It's good, man.
Computer's gone, man.
He'll be so gutted that he never finished off what he was saying.
I mean,
But in respect to Rabbit, he's a top man, and you know we will fight. We will try and help him.
I mean,
you know,
like, just talking to him about this, you know, private messages and stuff like that, and you know, like he's so passionate about it, and you know, he's such a good guy. Him and Kate, I've got, you know, all the respect and love in the world for these guys, and to think of them sat there thinking their way of life is under attack, and it just makes me sick to my stomach, man. I mean, you know,
they're good people,
it's
man.
a scary thought that is for them. I mean,
yeah, of course it is. I mean,
It's a fucking harsh reality when you look at it that somebody's just got the power to turn around and say, "Bump from tomorrow." That's how you're living.
That's what I'm more
I mean, the fact that a cigarette is still perfectly legal, you can still buy it freely.
The thing is, this is way beyond a cigarette and everything else. This is, you know,
shit. That's what it is. It's some shame.
This is actually being able to turn around and say, "Nah, that's it. From tomorrow, you're living like that. You can only live that way, and that's how you are going to be living."
I mean, like,
it's their way of controlling the population to do exactly what they want them to do in their way only. No ifs, no buts. I want you to do this.
Robot mentality, man.
Say them the land of the free, but them taking away the choice of juice and them the government being back paid off tobacco. So no, it's not free.
Yeah. I mean,
it's the almighty dollar speaking. That's all it is. The almighty dollar.
I mean, we're not talking anything disparaging about like the Americans' way of life or anything like that. What we're actually saying here, and we're not trying to criticize by saying, you know, we'll land of the free and this and that and the other, but we believe in that. We believe in your right.
Well, I mean, the thing is, we believe in that, and we're not American.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we feel this way about their choices, imagine how they are.
Away from our asses, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's still there for them, like, you know, and at the end of the day, and this is what it's about, and this is the community spirit. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's like, you know, one person on that, one voice is very quiet. Yeah, 14 million. If all those 14 million started shouting from the rooftops and got every family member that they have to shout from the rooftops and say, "Hey, you're taking away my dad's right to choose. You're taking away my son's right to choose. You're taking away this." Let's be honest. This is an attack on their civil rights. That's what it is.
You might as well be signing the death warrant.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. And, you know, this is what's so sickening about it is that there's nothing just, there's nothing right. Like this whole thing is just so wrong. I mean, I just honestly just cannot believe the shit.
We've got to remember now, right? We've got to remember now that this takes advocacy to a whole new level. It takes educating people to a whole new level.
Yeah.
The one thing we have to do is be controlled and respectful in the way that we do it. Time for bashing is done. Time for in-house fighting is done. Time for this brand, that brand.
We're not posting any hand. We're not posting any bullshit like that right now. We're 100% focused on advocacy and fighting the good fight and doing what's right. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and
it needs to be more constructive, though. That's the big issue, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
It's got to be controlled. It's got to be precise. It's got to be, you know.
And we've got to sort of say, look, you know, we got to get. I mean, Ariel mentioned it before about making some sort of vaping union type. Do you know what I mean? Some sort of like committee of vapors, the companies that you know, the big companies. They all need to come together. They need to put the differences aside because we're all fighting for the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and this is it. Yeah. And all of this, like, bullshit that's going on, like I said, I've said it before, if they take that energy and they put it in the direction, then maybe we can do something. You know, because,
let's wrap it up, shall we? And let everybody go to bed and everything. I see Zippy was listening for
Paul looks like he's about to fall asleep.
No, it's all right. I thought I could hear the baby, man.
On that.
But
I can keep going for
thanks
ages.
for everyone in the comments and the chat. Personally, I will
appreciate
apologise
those
for
that
my
joined.
technical difficulties tonight. I've had a little bit of a storm going on. My signal's been going all over the place, so it's been a bit of a nightmare on my end. But we will be back. We will be back next week.
Yep.
Next
Appreciate
week.
those in chat, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks for all the new faces in chat.
We're not going to go quiet on this.
Thank you, fellas, and Rabbit as well. He'll definitely be back on. And there we go,
Massive
folks.
thanks
Let's
to
wrap it
Rabbit.
up.
Yeah, thanks
big
everyone.
thanks,
Advocate and
Rabbit.
educate, man.
Bye.
Advocate and educate.
Advocate. That's all I've got to say about it. You know.
At least
We're
the
going.
vaping
Bye-bye, everybody.
tastes nice. Bye.
You can't switch it
let
off
me end
yet.
it now. I can't switch it off now.
Right, how to get us off live? And then goes the kitty.
Oh, you think you've got again?
Right, for the next segment, we're getting after hours.
More sleep.
Try again.
What's he doing now?
Another one.
Try
comes
smacking
along.
your computer, Vin.
Yeah. Turn it on and off.
Oh, Lord.
Sounds like we got Chewy in there.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in tonight. Do you know what I mean? I want to thank Rabbit.
It's been good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, everybody in the comments, it's been really good. We've had some real constructive stuff said, and you know,
Good to see some new people in there as well, man.
yeah, you know,
It was nice to see Vic come in.
Yeah.
That was quite nice to see someone well known.
Yeah, Vinny's on twice.
Hey, I've got to say,
Oh,
is that when he